So as we kick off 2022, I thought I might start things out with a bang with one of the most beloved sequels to a video game, Halo 2. With my last review for Combat Evolved, I played and beat it on an original Xbox, just because I felt like that was the only way to play one of the original Xbox games was on the console itself. However, I did decide that with the future titles that I was going to play them on the Master Chief Collection. Only because that makes life easier on me, seeing how that they're all in one game and install and on Game Pass. So which means I will be playing the Anniversary Edition of Halo 2 with remastered graphics and sound. I did from the start of the game play the original graphics to know how it felt like to play the game back when it was originally released, but after a while I wanted to enjoy the remastered graphics. Speaking of which, I will just get this right out of the way. I love how well this game looks, from the cinematics, the weapons, the environments. This game just has great presentation, especially on top with the great soundtrack to top it all off. Now, Halo 2 picks up right after the events of the first game by congratulating Master Chief and Sergeant Avery Johnson for their heroics in the first game, alongside them being Miranda Keyes receiving the medal on behalf of her father that was lost in the events of the previous entry. The story is in much larger scale by a lot of new things we learn about the Covenant and the discovery of the new Halo Ring world that we come across. I very much enjoy learning more about the hierarchy in the Covenant and who is supposed to answer to who, their religion, and the revelations some of the characters discover. The voice acting is still top notch, especially the Arbiter voiced by famous Keith David. In terms of gameplay, it isn't too much different from the first game in terms of combat, besides the additional guns that you can use like SMGs and the great battle rifle, a bunch of new alien weapons, and the vehicles haven't changed much, so that's still pretty much the same, although you are given the ability to hijack vehicles from enemies, which is awesome. I do love the ability to be able to dual wield guns to be able to slay your enemies down even quicker. The health system is also different and better now, since that you do not need to pick up health packs anymore, which for the most part I didn't mind in the first game, but it is a much better time not having to be worried about being in a tough situation because of the lack of health packs. The biggest change to this entry is being able to play as a Covenant elite, the Arbiter. You will play as Master Chief the most, but there will be times where the story will make you play as the Arbiter, which I found great considering it gives you the chance to see things from their perspective. On top of that, Arbiter comes with the ability to have a camouflage that you can utilize after a brief cooldown. This gives you a chance to avoid enemies, get behind them and assassinate them, and it's also a great way to get out some tough spots. The enemies you come across aren't too different either, except for the introduction to the Brutes, who are these giant ape-like beasts which give you more variety to the game when combating your foes level to level. You also do have some of these annoying flying enemies that I believe that are known as drones. They certainly create a new obstacle for you in the sense that since these things can fly, that increases the difficulty when they show up. Oh, and I still hate the Flood because, yeah, fuck them. Now, at least with this entry, I did not feel like Bungie just kept throwing an overabundant amount of enemies at me for the sake of being difficult. I felt like it was given just the right amount of enemies to defeat, which I appreciated. Now, I believe I said this in the last review, but while I do love some of the level designs and how alive the world looks, especially with the updated graphics, there were some points where I just felt like I was going down some of the same type of hallways over and over again. It wasn't as bad as Combat Evolved, but I was able to notice it at certain times, and those sort of things just create the sense of being repetitive. Overall though, the game ends on a crazy note, which leaves me excited to see where Halo 3 brings us. With the game turning 18 years old this year, and on top of the Anniversary Edition being available to play, this game is just superb. It does what the first game did and pushes it even further. This was a great way to start my year, and I am looking forward to seeing where this journey leads us. Guys, my name is Pedro Ordonez, also known as GL7. Please subscribe, comment, like, thumbs up, do whatever you guys can to support this channel. Let me know what kind of games you would like to see me review this year, and I will see you guys next time. Peace out.